Hey friends, this is Miss Wittler again. So last time we created our abstract art inspired by artist Vasily Kandinsky, who liked to listen to music when he painted, liked to use shapes and lines to show what he thought that music would look like in art form. Now today, you guys are going to be coloring these works of art, and you can use paints, crayons, markers, oil pastels, whatever coloring supply you have at home that you want to use. Myself am going to be using these paints. So I have a water cup, I have my brush, I'm all ready to go. And it might take a moment with watercolors kind of swirling it around for a moment before they start to show up. That yellow is going to be light though because it is a light color. I might just start by putting water into all my spaces. So I have my paints. I am going to be using paint for my abstract art today, starting with those light colors when I'm painting, and then I can mix in darker values. But if you start dark, you're not going to be able to get lighter. So maybe I could use yellow for this whole circle space, but then thinking about how I can show those areas of overlap. So maybe if I do blue in this space behind, making sure my brush is always wet, not getting those sticky watercolor paints. Maybe in this in-between space, since it's gonna mix, that would be green to show that those two spaces overlap. So using those primary colors in overlapping spots is a good idea. I could even just take a little bit of the regular green and mix it in to make it more of a green. Same with this overlapping shape over here. I could use red and just mix. If it gets too red, I can go back to some yellow, mixing in that spot to make orange. And then cleaning my brush and going back to red for my other spaces. You can also mix intermediate colors. So maybe in this overlapping space over here, I could use red and purple, thinking about the color wheel and thinking about how those two colors are next to each other. Making sure to spread that paint out. No sticky spots. Mixing into that red. It's a good idea that if you're painting or you're using wet supplies to color, that you have something behind your artwork so that you're not getting paint on something that it will not come out of. Another color that could mix with purple is blue on the other side. So I could use blue right here, getting a little bit to mix with that purple. And like I said, if it goes too much one way and you want to mix in some purple or whatever color you were using before back into it, you can always layer on top. Now this is a really big space back here, and even though this line doesn't end there to close it off, I'm gonna switch over to green and kind of blend in the middle, mixing in that in-between space so that it goes from that green to a green blue and then to blue. more water you use, the lighter the colors will be. Up to you if you want them darker or lighter. I could use purple over here again to cover that up. Since I kind of have two options here for what colors to mix with this purple in the overlap space, I want to think about which colors are going to mix together. I probably wouldn't want to put green with the purple. So instead I could go back to that blue. Mixing blue and purple together in that space. And you don't have to mix in every spot that overlaps, like this space right here could just be one color. Maybe orange to make it pop out with all those warm colors around it. I haven't used a lot of orange, so I might use that in another space right over here. Again, I'm thinking about the color wheel and what mixes together as I go. Purple and orange are not gonna mix, so I'm not gonna overlap into that purple space. I'm not gonna mix there. I could, however, use red with orange and mix in that space. And then lighten up with more water to make the space kind of like a pinkish red. I still have spaces I could color. I could leave a couple white, but I do want to get most of them filled in. So I'm going to go back to a blue for this kind of background space like I was doing down here. I can go back to green down here like I was doing above. A couple more spots left. I think I'm going to use a warm color here because there's all this cool blue behind it. I haven't used a lot of yellow. It's just a really light yellow in this watercolor set, so I could just do a light yellow in this space. And then up here, maybe I'll do some more of that red. Again, a bright color to kind of pop out a little bit with that shape. And then all my spaces are full. I'm all finished up. And that is the end of this project. Have a great day.